So, I made pancakes. Edgedancer is this little book between Stormlight 2 and 3. If you haven't been here on this channel before, you don't know the extent of my trauma from the previous books, so I advise you to watch those videos first and then come back to this Edgedancer rant. I had high hopes for this one. I wanted to put a stop to my tears, I wanted to have fun. I was counting on Lift to give me that, and having read the book now, I can say with confidence that she's very good at giving me the chuckles. I hope I can give you some chuckles too. I open the book, I stare at the first page. As always, Lift is up to one of her shenanigans. Last time, I left her in that palace where she had fun reviving a random dude and turning him into an emperor. I expected to find her there, but how naive of me. She's outside running, leaving comfort and safety to have pancakes. I was going to make fun of this, but all things considered, you know what? I think this is the best idea ever. I would do the same for some churros. So, Lift and Wendell are having a nice little banter and planning for what's to come, if we can call it planning. Lift doesn't ever plan, and wait, is she chewing on a handkerchief? God, I'm only on page 3. Following Lift was a challenge both for Wendell and me. I mean, it wasn't that bad for me. I just sat down over here and snickered at all the absurd situations Lift voluntarily created, but Wendell had to endure them. I totally understand how appalled Wendell was when Lift decided it would be a good idea to follow Darkness, aka the very same man that was out to kill her. Like me, you might be thinking, oh, so the pancake thing is a facade of sorts. No. Lift is very serious about it. I like that kind of dedication. Not Wendell though. He was complaining the whole time about how all this circus wasn't the place for a gardener like him, and I don't blame him. I for one think he deserves the farm he dreams of. One thing I like about Wendell is that he's a very expressive plant. Have you ever seen a plant huff? That sounds hilarious to me. In all his pestering, Wendell mentions how he was originally supposed to be the spren of a cobbler. Cobbler. That sounds familiar. And bam! A lightning of genius stormed my brain. It's that unknown man from the interlude in Words of Radiance! I couldn't remember any of the things that happened in that one, so I had to do something that I truly hate. Thinking. And eventually, one detail emerged from the depths of my Dory memory. Yum. His name is Yum! Yum? Yum. Yum yum.
Oh dearie me, oh my, I can't remember it. I don't remember anything. Also, his name is Yemen. I know exactly his fucking birthday, and I know what his hair color is.
I will remember those who have been forgotten. Partially. Thanks to my personal Cosmere informant, he Googles stuff for me so I don't get spoiled. And he makes fun of my ignorance. I now recall that Yum made shoes to help kids in the streets. And he seemed to be a little bit awesome himself. I really liked him. Sadly, and this is another thing I had forgotten about, my brain probably blocked this piece of information because it really didn't like it. Yum died, killed by none other than Darkness! Note to myself, always remember the interludes, because you never know when they may come back and hit you in the face. Darkness. The only Darkness I know is this one, by the way. If you know, you know. Darkness is, among other things, very annoying. Wanna talk to him? It's no use. It would be like trying to have a conversation with a wall. Sir, the Voidbringers are back.
No.
Speaking of Voidbringers, Wendell gives us an important piece of information here. Darkness is a herald. That makes 2 of them we've seen so far, right? Nail, it's his actual name, is even called a god by, are you ready for this? The one and only Sun Truthful! Always a pleasure to have him ominously occupy space on the page. Lift freaks out when she sees him, and Zeth freaks out when he sees her, and honestly, they look like they could be the best of friends. He even tells her where Darkness is headed so she could follow him. Wait, was he helping her or sending her to her death? I have a doubt now. What I'm really confused about is this Nightwatcher character. Yep, another mention of this weird wish-granting spren. Can we meet them? I want to know what's going on. So apparently Lift went to see the Nightwatcher and made the wish to never change. Assuming that to Lift it included her never growing up. But I don't think that's how it works. First of all, always be extra precise when you make a wish. You know what they say, be careful what you wish for. And I mean, whether you like it or not, Lift, you are no longer 10. Okay, nope, I'm sorry. Take this pancake and pretend I never said that. It's time for my storming theory of the day. At some point, Lift has a conversation with a random old man in front of an orphanage, and as you might already know, nothing really is random in the Cosmere. So my very first thought after I read Old Man, followed by a short description was, this is Hoyd, isn't it? I had no evidence as usual, but the two have some weird conversation during which the alleged Hoyd asks Lift what part of the body she is. I don't know what you think, but to me, this very much sounds like the kind of nonsense Hoyd would spew. Lift looks at him weirdly and says she's a nose. Now, I'm the one looking at her weirdly, but hey, let's look at it this way. Hoyd is trying to figure out what type of radiant she is, and since the internet isn't a thing in this universe and they have no access to the official Night Radiant quiz, then he's got to get creative. Or maybe he's trying to know if she has figured it out. In any case, I guess that if you feel like a nose one of these days, then you're most probably an Edgedancer. Except, it turns out I was wrong. So wrong.
Yeah, I am yours.
No, not about that. About the Hoyd thing. I've been in the dark so long regarding him that I guess I'm becoming a bit Hoyd paranoid. Nice, it rhymes. I never let my guard down. I see him everywhere. In every book I read, in the corner of my eye, in my nightmares. And so, until the very last minute, I was certain that old man was him. Remember that scene of sheer body horror where the unknown man was covered in kremlings? Tons of them. They were described as skittering and creaking, and it immediately reminded me of Hoyd talking to some creaking creature at the end of Words of Radiance. Was that a Kremlin? That's what I thought, at least. But then the man, or should I say the creature, introduces themselves as a sleepless. What the hell is a sleepless? All I know is sleepy. I don't understand. Back to the darkness drama. At this point, he's killed a bunch of awesome people and tries to kill some more. Boo! Lift is on the list of future victims and she doesn't think that's very acceptable. And me neither. Obviously, the best thing to do here is find somewhere safe, sit down, and wait. Especially with the upcoming storm. But this is not the ways of the Cosmere. We don't do that here. It is well known that safety is for the weak. And Lift is not weak. She's had a lot of pancakes to make sure of that. This is why the very next thing she does is yell at darkness to catch his attention. Outstanding move. Cue a chase scene involving a little bit of stabbing and a lot of slicking. Lift, tiny and Stormlight confused, finds herself against darkness, an all-powerful herald. So naturally, she goes... And this is apparently just as effective as speaking the words because Lift and now weapon Wendell are so intimidating darkness begins to cry. Yeah, boo-hoo. It was basically like, Honor made me do it. Well, screw Honor. Honor's dead, haven't you heard? Although I will admit, the moment Lift hugs him is adorable. The entire Edgedancer order is adorable, actually. I will remember those who have been forgotten. I will listen to those who have been ignored. Adorable. Just like Wendell. I left it out on purpose until now, but Wendell isn't any shard blade, no. He's a fork. A shard fork, baby! This whole thing is so silly. Awesomely silly, isn't it, your pancake fullness? In case you were wondering, I made my pancakes from scratch and yes, they were edible. Edgedancer marks a new step in my Cosmere journey and it was delightful. Great breather after the non-stop dread of book 2. Seeing others' reactions to Lift, it seemed to me that she could only go one of two ways. Very fun or very annoying. I didn't think much of Lift before, but this story made me see her in a new light and now I absolutely love her. I don't know how Sanderson does it with so many of his characters, but there are some aspects of Lift's personality that echoed mine. Also, Wendell has officially been promoted to my second favorite spren. Yeah, Syl is still my favorite, let's not go too far. Alright, now, how about we make a deal? You get me to 1,000 subscribers and I make that Oathbringer video before the end of this year. If college doesn't kill me in the meantime, of course. Sounds reasonable to me. What do you say? Next video will be on Dune. I have plenty of projects scheduled for the next months. By the way, would you be interested if I played small narrative games on this channel? I don't want to make a whole different channel for something I'm not sure I will commit to. Tell me what you think. I'm trying to diversify my content and I think that would be very fun. I'm also thinking of opening a coffee page, but I'm afraid it's too early for such a small channel and I also feel a little bad asking for donations. So I'll let you all decide for me. Okay, now I have a question. Is there a Truthwatcher special novella? Because I'm not much of an Edgedancer, and proof of that is all the plants that are dying in my care. Am I even still a Truthwatcher? I feel like a different person every day, so who knows? I think I'm gonna retake that quiz for all of you to see, so stay tuned. And Sanderson, give me that Truthwatcher Renarn special. Okay, thanks, bye!